The system, that's the problem. The system, because it's not like we're not smart, it's not like we are not capable, and that's one of the reasons why I even wrote my book, is because I always felt like the system was meant to fail us.
All the things that we see on Haiti here in the United States, it seems to be all negative. Is Haiti that tough of an area to be raised in?
I feel like TV in general here will only show you the negative when it comes to Haiti and a lot of the other African countries, when there's so much positivity and so much beautiful things going on.
When we see Haiti on TV, you see shacks. You don't see nice communities. But you have to believe that there are other communities that aren't highlighted.
It's a lot of nice neighborhoods, nice houses, nice, beautiful places in Haiti. I think that after the earthquake is when they started highlighting the negative. It's been a lot.
Talk about your education. Did you get most of your education in a private school in Haiti? Are there public schools in Haiti?
Yeah, there are both public schools and private schools. I went to a private school that was mainly a French school. So the way it worked is the teachers were Haitian, hired by the school to teach us, but we're using a French curriculum.
And what about your secondary education? Can you speak on that?
Did my first 2 years of medical school in the UK, and then wanted to move back, so transferred into Ross University, which at the time was in Dominica. But they do their first 2 years on the island and their last 2 in the US, doing different clinicals in different parts of the US. So I was doing my last 2. I've never been to Dominica, I've never been to the island, but transferred into Ross University and started my clinicals that way.
Doc, you had all those successes. You skipped a grade. You went to all these great universities. In reading about you, you said you lacked a lot of confidence. You were unsure of yourself. How did you overcome that?
I think, especially during medical school and residency, it wasn't a lot of people that looked like me. So you feel like I was definitely the minority, but because I wasn't seeing myself represented in the rooms that I was in, really made me feel like I wasn't that important, or maybe I was lucky to be in that room. It's hard to explain, but over the years when I finished residency, realizing that I belonged right where I was, and that I worked hard to be where I was, and that I passed all the same exams as everybody else.
I have a daughter who is seeking to go to med school. She just graduated from Michigan State University, and she was battling with those same feelings, even though she is almost a 4.0 student. And you just wonder, and I'm pretty sure that happens with most people, but somebody who has had success throughout childhood, why would they have any type of doubt in themselves?
Right. And I didn't start realizing that until after I finished residency. Again, looking back and realizing what I had to go through and having to prove myself and all the extra hurdles I had to go through. And then finally it dawned on me, like, why are you feeling this way? You work probably harder than they have. Yeah. And you belong right where you are.
The stereotyping, it's the imagery. It's how we view ourselves at the end of the day.
It's the whole system that's jacked up.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Do you think that will ever change?
I think it will change if people like me and you try to portray a more positive image of what it's like to be in this profession. When you are a little child looking at the TV, you don't see a lot of black doctors and black lawyers. You see a lot of ball players. You may see actors. You may see rappers, So changing that image, because it starts with the little ones,
you're absolutely correct,
makes them feel like it's attainable.
We look at ball players, rappers, and comedians as our leaders. Mm-hmm. That's their profession. Mm-hmm. When a ball player says something, especially if you got a ball player who just came out of high school and had a successful basketball career, why would that ball player have more influence on our children than, say, a doctor who spent many years in school and became a cardiologist? Why would our kids listen to, their political opinion versus a person that's well educated?
I mean, it's more of them out there. So that's what you get to see more. You don't see a lot of people like me, or like when we had the Huxtables, for example. That was a very good positive image at that time to a lot of us, right? Growing up having that on our TV. It's not like that for a lot of kids. I mean, it's changing now, but it's still not enough, and we need to do more.
Yeah, I think that given the success and given the influence of that show, I think they wanted to punish him later and hold him up in front of the community to say, hey, man, that was just a pipe dream. That's not the reality.
It's the system. Representation does matter a lot, especially when it comes to little ones. And so I'm just hoping and praying that 15, 20 years from now, that 5% becomes 15, 20%. Because there are places where you never see a black physician. You never see a black pediatrician.
Can you talk about your books? And both of them were bestsellers, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So the first one is called Paging Dr. You, a step-by-step guide to becoming a doctor. Again, my journey of realizing, wait, what's going on? Why is it only, because it's 2.5% of black doctors are women and 2.5% are men. But so that number is still minute when you compare it to all, to the rest. And so I started thinking to myself, why is this happening? Why is it only so few of us going into this field? And so I decided to write the book in a very simple term so that a high school kid or even a middle school kid can read, explaining the steps of what you need to do to set yourself up for success. And it's simple things like don't do nothing crazy on social media because that can come back to haunt you, or as soon as you can, start working on your credit because school is expensive and you're probably going to need student loans. It's simple things like that these youngsters may not know because they don't have anybody in their family or remotely close to anyone that they know that can teach them those things.
And the second book?
And the second book I wrote last year is a children's book. So it's just fun stories about little kids that are getting hurt, playing, going to the pediatrician, and they're scared and afraid of her at first, and then they get to know her and they love her. She's a mom, she has kids herself, and so it creates a positive image of what a doctor is. And it makes you want to be like her because you see yourself represented in her.
What motivated you to get into being a creator, and how did you manage to become so good at creating content?
So looking back, way back, I started my social media as a way to motivate myself. A lot of people write in journals. I was just putting things out there on social media for me to go back and look at, and I started getting a lot of positive feedbacks. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I mean, it's motivating me, it's motivating other people, so let me just continue. So my page is all about inspiration, motivation, positivity, education, all that type of stuff, nothing negative. So I just want to inspire younger women when they see me to think that anything is attainable and anything is possible. So I'm just having fun with it, and it's just taking off.
How did you grow your page, though? I mean, there are a lot of people on social media posting positive vibes. So they're not at 100,000. They don't have a blue check mark. And is your page monetized as well? Are you making a living off of that as well as being a doctor?
I do now.
Okay.
Not something that I was doing before because I didn't know nothing about that space. I mean, it's still fairly new for doctors to be on social media because it's a fine line navigating your profession where people still look at you a certain way. Anything
else you want to tell the people?
Oh, wow. To never doubt yourself, because I used to do that. And once you realize that the sky is the limit, I mean, the possibilities are endless. But you really have to realize that for yourself, to come out of your shell and see that you can really achieve anything you put your mind to.